Hey there, and welcome to EVE Online News and Weather with me, Mike Azariah. It is March the 9th, 2025, and this week was a fairly busy week, so I thought I'd get right into it. I was almost waiting to see if there'd be more news, but once the weekend kicks in, things calm down a little. First thing I wanted to cover is there was a live event, in Tabitzer, which is a system I've never been to before, never even heard the name of before, but came up. Eve does announce things if you know where to look, and some people did, and they got to Tabitzer in time to see this event. I want to talk about live events in Eve for just a moment. I've talked about this before on CSM updates. In my mind, there's a few different types of live events. One is purely scripted. You get to be there, say, I was there, I saw it happen, but do very little to have any effect before or after. The second is where they set things up to roll and players can have an effect, or CCP is looking to see what the players decide to do and play off of it and move on from there. The third type is a hybrid of the two. Now, this one felt borderline hybrid because it had a set piece of ships coming in and being attacked, but the loot that was picked up, the players are going to have to decide where they want to deposit that loot and to whom they want to support. And there's a list I'll give a link below in the Eve Universe article about it, that if you were there and you picked up any of these Warden loot items, you can turn them in before. I think you have a few more days to decide who you're giving it to, and he'll probably give them an advance or an advantage, not the players, but that group in upcoming events. It always seems that Eve loves to build these storyline events and live events coming up to FanFest, which now is, a month and a half away, a little further. So this could be a storyline that they will expand upon over the next month and a half and then culminate come FanFest and a big reveal of whatever's coming then. But like I said, I will put a link down below for the live event and things that happen. Second thing that was interesting but sideline, and that was that CCP has officially announced that they hired an economist. Now, this is not the first time that they've had an economist. They had Dr. Ao quite a while ago. He went on to become the president of a university in Iceland. But now they've hired, and I am going to screw this name up something fierce, bear with me, Stefan Torarensen. And if I got it right, Cupid points for me. But he is mainly going to be, by the sounds of it, working with the economy of Eve Frontiers, which is an offshoot of Eve, and kind of crypto connected. And I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just I am playing Eve Online right now, not Eve Frontiers. But they also said in one of the articles or somewhere along the line that he might also be looking at Eve proper, the game we play, and its economy. And having an economist on staff is always a good thing. The other thing I wanted to mention in passing was I've been seeing a lot more Eve ads on YouTube videos. I don't know if the algorithm finally figured out that I like Eve or that it just decided it's time to inundate me, or whether Eve is actually paying more to get their name out there. And so if you're seeing more, please let me know. Tell me in the comments down below, in whichever platform you happen to be seeing this video on, if you're actually noticing more advertising for Eve Online. Connected with that in an adjunct way is I also got news that Eve put out 4 Instagram posts, at least, maybe more by now, explaining various things that are coming up. Now, damn it, I would like it if Eve actually used the forums, which is their official mouthpiece, but instead they're going to Instagram. I mean, we're an aging population in this game, and I'm not sure how many of us actually have Instagram accounts. I do, just so I can keep track of my daughters now and then. But other than that, next thing you know, there'll be an OnlyFans Eve. I'm joking, devs. Joking. I do not want OnlyFans Eve. It's bad enough with only fleets fighting themselves. On to the last bit, which is the news and weather. The news this week comes courtesy of PushX. If you don't know Eve that well, PushX is an organization in the game that actually moves stuff. And as a result, they pay very good attention to all of the, what's ganking and what's not, and how things are going. So as a result, it's kind of fun watching PushX post most ganked freighters, most ganked heavy deep space transports, where the ganking is happening, and that sort of thing. And I will put a link down below to show it to you. It is worth taking a look at if you think of doing any kind of transport inside the game. Unfortunately, I think I have just erased it off of this. Give me a moment. I was totally prepared, and then things went south. Nope, totally lost it. So, like I said, there'll be a link down below for the Eve universe, which is where it gives a lot of Eve in character news, lore news. There's also an Eve News, which is where they posted the hiring of the new dev, and I'll post that link down below. And then I get some of my information from Reddit, which is I'll post the link for the PushX, seeing as I don't have it open here handy. But it's handy to look and see the stats. In PushX, I look back, do this about once a month. This is kind of like the MER of things that blow up shipping wise. And this is, now you got to remember that, and even in the post, PushX says they're getting their data from Zkill, which is a very nice resource, and I use it a lot. But Zkill is only if people register for it, and so it's not a full picture because sometimes people do things or prefer not to show what they were moving or what they lost. And so they don't want to brag about dying. Go figure. But it's been a busy week. I expect the next few weeks to be just as busy as Eve start. If they're going to start this snowball building towards a storyline, then I expect things to keep going. No wars that I'm seeing, other than I made a reference to the only fleets, and there's minor fights, wormhole evictions, and that sort of thing, but nothing that I really got anything we can sink our teeth into. So you have yourselves a really good week. I will see you next time. Ciao.